And here are the standings after 12 rounds in the FIDE Candidates Final 2016. Bobby Caruana drew, Kariakin won, so now they're tied at 7. It's going back and forth. Vishinan lost to Carl Nakamura, he's 6.5. Svidler, Geary, Aronian with 6 points each. Carl Nakamura at 5.5 and Topalov at 4. It's a pretty exciting tournament, jockeying back and forth. Could be anybody's tournament. Stay tuned for the games. Hi folks, John Cordisco back again. Round 13, we're coming up on the end of the World Chess Candidates Final 2016. The winner of this tournament goes on to play Magnus Carlsen for the World Championship. This is a huge deal. This game here has really no effect on the outcome of the winner, but I think it's a good game because it's got my buddy Carl Nakamura in it. And as white, Veselin Topalov, former world champion from Bulgaria. Veselin's not doing too well in this tournament, neither is Carl, and Carl Nakamura is black. Let's get to it. It's going to be a Queen's Gambit declined. We'll just go through the opening here. Pretty much standard stuff. Bishop takes, e3. Pretty calm stuff. E takes, pawn push, e takes, bishop takes, knight takes, knight takes. Not queen takes knight. Because after queen takes knight, knight takes queen, castling long. I like white here. It's not a huge advantage, but it's a decent one. After knight takes, bishop e3, knight goes to f5. So let's take a breath here. According to the computer, it's a tiny advantage for black. I really don't see how. None of the pawns are isolated. The only thing that black has an advantage over white is white's not castled yet. Queen takes, rook takes, bishop e2, knight takes, pawn takes. Now, I like black here. That isolated e-pawn. Is it the end of the world? No. But it's going to be a problem for white depending on how things go. Knight to g4. That temporarily prevents the king from going here, frankly, and that's a good spot for that king. e4, bishop e6, just to develop, get your rooks connected. And white finally castles. Now, I certainly wouldn't take bishop takes. Give up that bishop for the knight. Knight to e3. Rook just goes to the c file, the open file. Rook d2. Carl's going all out here. He's got really nothing to lose. And I wish these guys would play like that all the time. I know there's a lot at stake, and I know there's a ton of preparation. But sometimes you just need to play. Bishop f3. Rook a to d8. I mean, black's not a ton better, but it's very uncomfortable. I think it's harder to play with white here. e5 with a discovery attack on the b7 pawn. Carl just pushes the pawn. Knight to e4. Trying to get that knight in a decent spot. This knight here is a decent spot. Rook to b2. Rook d1, hitting the knight. Knight to c4. Knight to g5. Of course, Carl loses that bishop, but I still like black because rooks are really active. Rook a to c1. Rook to d4. Good spot on a dark square where it can't be attacked by the light squared bishop and guards the knight. h3, getting aloof for his king, and just in case some stuff starts going wrong here, I think b5 just to cement that knight. Not as good of a knight takes. Then after a rook checks, king's up. Rook to c7, king f8, bishop e4, and white's better. So b5 is the correct move. Rook c3. There you go. Double up the rooks on the 7th rank. As Bruce Padalfini says, they're pigs. They ate up all the pawns. Well, there's not many pawns to eat, but the king's there. A4. A6, of course. Bishop B7. Knight B6. Hitting the other pawn. A takes. A takes. Bishop B4. Knight C4. It's a little scarier for white. Rook G3. Rook E2. Rook to A1. Trying to get the rooks out in the open. If you can see. You know, get rook. Got the rook. Got the bishop coming in. Knight takes the pawn. Now I think white's in trouble. Rook to A8 check. King F7. Bishop H7. Trying to get that funky check in there on G8. G5. Bishop checks. King F6. Rook checks. King G7. And it's just over. Rook E8. And there's nothing that white can do. Knight G6. The bishop takes. Knight F4. And look at this disaster. And that's where Veselin Topalov, former world champion from Bulgaria, resigns. I believe that's 2 or 3 in a row for Carl. Better late than never, I guess. To give you an idea what would happen after that. After bishop to D7, rook just takes. It's over. So, well done by Carl. Didn't have a very good tournament, but he came on strong in the end. He's going to be within a point of the leaders, but it's just not going to be short. Look for the big game, though, in round 14. Tomorrow, on Monday, is the Karyakin Caruana matchup. Caruana has to win. If he draws and they tie, Karyakin wins on tie breaks. So you have it, folks. Won the games from round 13. I hope you enjoyed it. I want you all to remember, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.